Welcome back to the She Inspires podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Jade, board certified family medicine physician, wellness and weight loss specialist, owner of the membership medical practice in Las Vegas, Inspire Primary Care. And I am so glad you're back to the space where we talk about how busy women balance business and wellness here on the She Inspires podcast. If you are a woman who has a business or service that would benefit other busy professional women, reach out to our team. We would love to have you be a sponsor of the podcast so we can support the busy women who are listening to the pod. I'm excited about today's topic. Since we talk about how busy women balance business and wellness, let's shift to a wellness focused topic today. You know that I love this. I love to geek out on this, but it's important for us to touch on these from time to time. And the topic for today is wellness consistency tips for busy women. Wellness consistency tips for busy women. Y'all know one of my favorite questions to ask when I'm interviewing our amazing ladies on the podcast. I love to close by asking them, how have you been balancing business and wellness in this season? And something I've been hearing answered back to me commonly lately is, oh, I fell off. They've been telling me, oh, I fell off. In this season, I'm not doing all that I know I should be doing. And I like to scratch that. And there is no falling off. There may be seasons where we're more consistent or less consistent or not consistent at all. But this is a journey. I like to remind people until we pass away, we are on a lifestyle and wellness journey. So I try to eliminate, especially if you're a member of our Inspire Primary Care practice, our medical weight loss or wellness aspect of the practice, you know that I am not about fad diets. I am not about yes, I'm certified in obesity medicine and we use things properly like GLP-1s for weight management medically, but we're not doing it as a fad diet, a skinny shop for the next wedding coming up. None of that, right? We're here for chronic disease prevention and reversal. We're here for longevity, so we age gracefully, okay? We age feeling our best. And here are some things that I've been incorporating along my journey that have just helped me be consistent on my wellness journey. So I want you to be thinking about these as we go through them, like, how is my wellness consistency looking? What things am I really strong in this season? What are some things I could really pick up on in this season? And what are some things that I may not list that are really important for your personal or individual wellness consistency plan? All right. So my first tip is make it fun. Like, please make your wellness fun. When I tell you I love fitness, yes, at baseline, I love fitness, but I love whatever type of fitness inspires me and excites me in that season of life. For example, back when I was before I had kids, when I was a med student, it was really fun for me to take all the aggression and frustrations of med school out by just going outside and running and just running. So I really had gotten into doing 5Ks and 10Ks in that season. Then when I had the babies, I became pregnant. And after each pregnancy, I had gained a lot of weight. It was hard for the weight to come off. And I remembered enjoying running. But now I had all this weight, so it was really fun for me to sign up for what felt impossible because I am not a runner at baseline at all. When I say runner, most of the time I'm walking or jogging to that finish line, okay? I might pick it up from here and there, but you don't have to be a runner to do races, all right? Fun fact. But yeah, I signed up for half marathons after each baby, and it was something about, okay, I'm signing up for this race that's 3 months away. That's going to help me get my postpartum weight off. It's going to help me stick to a schedule. I printed like the little half marathon calendars off the internet, and I knew exactly how much I had to run at each day of the week. It was amazing. And then there was no better feeling of crossing that finish line and getting that medal. I felt so accomplished. There were all these community of people of all ages doing it all together. I loved it. It was fun in that season. But if y'all ask me if I want to do a half marathon right now, the answer is no. All right. And then when I was a med student, I also had a stint of really being into CrossFit. It just felt so good to lift heavy weights and throw these barbells around and, do all these things. I loved CrossFit. My joints and everything, it's not my season for that right now. I had a season of loving dance fitness. This is a fun fact that some of you may not know. Back in college, my favorite job was actually working at my school gym. Shout out to UNLV as a group fitness instructor. I was a personal trainer and a group fitness instructor, and I taught dance fitness classes on campus. So I used to love dance fitness classes for a season. Again, it's not really my thing in this season. I went through a season where I was loving hikes, right? My whole point is, and now y'all hear me talk about it all the time, Peloton. Like, that's my jam. And if you've been following me lately on socials, on Instagram, if you're not a part of our Instagram family at Dr. Jade MD, meet me there, all right? Because you will know that I am all about pickleball right now. Y'all, have you played pickleball? I love me some pickleball right now. But I get all excited about it because it is fun. I don't do fitness that feels like punishment. I don't buy gym memberships if I don't want to go to the gym. I don't go outside to play if I don't want to do my fitness outside. I don't work out in the house if I don't feel like working out in the house. I figure out what sounds fun to me, what inspires me right now, what can I be consistent with in this season, and I do that. So please make your fitness fun. And if you're listening to this and you're like, no form of fitness sounds fun to me, then, just think about it. What any type of movement that you could enjoy, that's what we're really trying to get out of this. Okay. All right. Number 2 is make it realistic. Please make it realistic. And I hear so often, especially in my practice, here at Inspire Primary Care, I really care for a lot of busy professionals, entrepreneurs, business owners, moms. And I hear all of the laundry list of things they can't do. Well, I can't do that because my kids are little. I can't do that because my husband works a lot, or I can't do that because I have to work evenings and weekends. Like, we know all of what I like to call the barriers, but I just ask them, okay, well, what can you do? Like, so I'm asking you that, like, what can you do in this season that will allow you to be consistent? Oftentimes I'll hear people say, when it goes back to making it realistic, I'll hear them say, all right, Dr. J, so I want to just go into doing 6 days a week. Let me just start with 6 days a week. And I'm like, okay, that's amazing. But in the last couple of months, how many days a week on average have you been working out? And they tell me 0. And I'm like, all right, well, how about we say at least what's the minimum you can commit to? They tell me, okay, I can commit to 2. Okay, well, how about at least 2 days a week? Anything more than that is extra credit. But if we're at 0, let's not just jump right to 6. Let's make it realistic so that it can be consistent, and then we can always build from there. So make those wellness goals consistent and realistic, okay? Realistic so you can be consistent. Number 3 is make it flexible, y'all. Like, make it flexible. Be flexible with your goal. And I know if you're a fellow type A personality, like, I like to make a goal, hit the goal, boom, 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 bam, that's it. But I really want to encourage you to just be flexible with yourself. Like, if you're like, you know what, the month of June, I'm traveling a lot, so I may not be as consistent for those 2 weeks I'm traveling, but when I come back, I'm going to get back on my wellness plan. So just be flexible with your plan. Build it and customize it to what your month looks like. Take a look a month at a glance and say, okay, what does my month look like? What can I commit to this month? Listen to your body. There are some months where I'm like, I really want to lift more weights and do more resistance training. There are some months where I'm like, I really want to be a little more cardio and nutrition focused. So really being just in tune with your body and being flexible. Again, until we pass away, it is a journey. It is a lifestyle. So we just want to be consistent. And I really love doing a 30-day at a glance and giving myself a wellness plan for the next 30 days. That's worked really well for us. And that's part of what we do here with our wellness visits, with our Inspired Health Method, with our personalized wellness plans at Inspired Primary Care. All right, and number 4 is make it planned and prioritized. Make it planned and prioritized. So what does your exercise schedule look like in your week with your other duties, like when your kids are there, when your job hours, like what can you commit to? Don't say you're going to walk in the evenings if you know you're exhausted after work. Don't say you're going to wake up at 5 a.m. if you know you're not a morning person and you're not going to get out of bed. Like, what is actually doable? Okay. So build out that exercise schedule, build out your nutrition and plan your nutrition. And it doesn't have to be restrictive. We don't want it to be restrictive or unrealistic. We want to say, okay, if you've been eating, lots of unhealthy processed foods. Well, how many times a week are we doing that? If it's every day right now, can you remove 1 day a week where you're like, that's my processed food free day of the week. I'm only going to allow myself 6. It's little things that seem little that make a huge difference over a long period of time. Your sleep schedule, plan that out. What is the minimum amount of sleep you need to be your best self energy wise? And what are the barriers to that? Planning that sleep regimen out, planning that self-care regimen out. I'm going to say that, right? What does your self-care look like? What do you like to do that feels like self-care to you? Look at that 30 days at a glance. What can we commit to? So this is really a part of the personalized wellness plan. Again, if you are an Inspire Primary Care member or thinking about joining, I do this with you. I'm your physician and your wellness coach. We do personalized wellness plans. I help keep you accountable. So that is what we do here, okay? That's a part of how we help prevent and reverse chronic disease at Inspire Primary Care. But if you're not an Inspire Primary Care member and our practice isn't the right fit for you, or you're not in Las Vegas, you can still customize a personalized wellness plan. And we should all have a custom personalized wellness plan. And these are some ideas for one, okay? And then number 5, our fifth and final of our wellness consistency tips is, and I've said this a little bit throughout, but I got to emphasize it. Make it a lifestyle. Make it a lifestyle. I can't tell you how often people come to me with these short-term reasons in mind, like I have a wedding coming up, I'm a bridesmaid, so I need to get snatched. I have a vacation coming up, my 30th birthday, my 50th birthday is coming up, I need to get in shape. Like, no. Like, let's think longevity. Let's think, I really want to be chronic disease free. I really want to be as medication free as possible. Let's really think about, I want to be around for my children and my grandchildren. I want to age without requiring 15 plus pills and having terrible arthritis. Okay. So when we really shift our mind to a lifestyle, it really strips away all of these little fad diets and all of these unrealistic crash goals that we make. And we just say, you know what? Okay, the next month, if you're watching this right now, we filmed this in August. Okay, the month of August is here now. What can I do for the month of August and commit to? And move from there, all right? And then, everybody likes to look at the calendar year, but that's why I like to look at it month to month, because we don't want to wait and make these wellness goals, these really big, grandiose, unrealistic wellness goals at the top of each year. All right. We can restructure the year, but we want to really be looking at it as a lifestyle. Okay. I'm off my bandwagon, or, I'm off my little, what do you call it? Pulpit? What's the word? Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm off of my soapbox. That's what it is. I'm off my soapbox. Y'all know I can talk about wellness all day. It's what I'm passionate about. It's my why in primary care. It's why I opened Inspire Primary Care. So I love all things health and wellness, and especially chronic disease prevention. But I hope that these help to just give us an idea on how we can really make this enjoyable, realistic, and consistent in a lifestyle. You got me? So what does that look like for you? What can you do to make your wellness consistent? If you are already consistent in your wellness, sis, keep going. If you have thought about any of these things I mentioned and you're like, okay, then pull the pearls that work for you, that you feel like would be helpful to incorporate, okay? I hope you enjoyed this episode of the She Inspires podcast. As always, join our social media fam. We're on Instagram at Dr. Jade MD. Share this podcast with other busy professional women in your life who are trying to balance business and wellness. Join us on YouTube. We're at Dr. Jade MD. Subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of the She Inspires podcast.